Hi dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, this is Dr. Harnet from Kigali, Rwanda, and I want to share with you a few insights into the opportunities the tourism, tour and travel industry in Rwanda and Africa. I'm here actually at the beautiful new Marriott Hotel of Kigali. It is an amazing place. I'm here at the terrace, and this is a new hotel. I actually want to walk around a little bit so you get an impression of how beautiful this space is. And I have to confess that we spent a lot of evenings here doing business meetings. Now, I actually started filming already, and then I was told for security reasons I needed to apply for filming because they have, you know, high-profile people staying here, including a president. I don't know what president, but a president is here at the moment. So I actually went through the entire procedure of getting that agreement. I'm allowed to film, but it's gotten a little bit dark in the meanwhile. So I hope you can still see me well with this lighting. So yes, so the tourism travel industry in Africa is growing so fast. And we had amazing digits in some countries, even countries like Kenya, which are very popular destinations. We saw, and they had some struggle in the last few years, but we saw tourism growing by 16%. So this is international travels, especially to the East African region, 12 to 16%. It's an amazing growth. We see especially a lot of travel coming from Europe, and I'm just going to go down the stairs. Oh, there's a beautiful wedding happening here, so this is obviously a very popular place. I have to say, this Marriott Hotel is new, but it's packed, completely packed inside. Very popular. So, so first of all, we have a very, very great growth rate for tourism in Africa, and we have even a high growth rate for tourism between African countries, so inter-African travel. Now, while we were here, we met a lady from the African diaspora, I'm so happy to say, who returned to Rwanda from the United Kingdom about 6-7 years ago. And she decided to open a luxury tour agency here. So she is organizing tour that costs, you know, many thousands of dollars because she's going really high-end. Her best clients are from the United Kingdom, she says, so she receives most clients from there, also from America. And she has been very, very successful. She's now one of the leading companies in this country, and in fact, I'm happy to tell you, she is now the head of the tour and what is called Association for Tour and Travel of Rwanda. So she's now the CEO of this association for the entire country. I mean, I think this is just amazing. And you know, this is what you get in Africa, because there's so much lack of skill, and there's a high demand for so many things, but not enough supply. And often when you find that people do step in, who do their, you know, who do what they do very, very well, like this lady that we met from the United Kingdom, you have opportunity to just grow very fast. And as I said, she ended up to be the CEO of the Tour and Travel Association of Rwanda. I think this is just incredible. So again, Africa Business Jumpstarters, those of you in the diaspora, please, you know, don't get stuck in the rut. There is a world out here, beautiful world. And so now I'm in another terrace. I'll show you a little bit around. So yes, so we talked to her as well, and she basically said that the opportunities were amazing. There's so much that can be done in this regard. Also at the luxury end. Now, the East African community, in my view, is a very, very good country to, a very, very good region in Africa to do so. So the East African community comprises of states such as Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and these are all amazing travel destinations. Now, hello. Now, so here we are at the part of the restaurant, and I show you a little bit how it looks like. There's actually some African influence here, in the design. So yeah, going back to the opportunities here. Now, the East African community, as I said, is an amazing destination. In fact, while we were here in Rwanda just this week, there was a major announcement, and that is that every citizen of this world who's arriving in Rwanda can get a visa at the airport. It's done in 5 minutes, so you don't need to apply for a visa in advance. You can simply travel to Rwanda, and every citizen of this world, no matter from which country they come, will get a visa on arrival. And I think that in itself is, is a major benefit of traveling, of attracting tourists to Rwanda and the East African community. Because here's the thing: once you received your visa in Rwanda, you're then also allowed to travel in the rest of the East African region, because it covers several countries. Now, one reason why I really like to promote Africa tours and travel to the diaspora is because it's, again, a business model that doesn't require, a lot of capital. You can actually set this up on a shoestring budget. You can design amazing tours, and again, this is something that we've seen happening here in Rwanda, where you put a tour together. It can be a combination of amazing luxury, like here, at the beautiful Marriott Hotel, and there are so many other really high-end hotels here in Rwanda. And on the other hand, you have beautiful countryside, you have amazing villages, locals, so much warmth here, and so much culture, and so it's an amazing place on so many levels. Now, you can put a tour together where, for example, you combine luxury experiences with authentic experiences. For example, meeting people in the rural areas. There's something called such as agricultural tourism that is growing in Africa, and the trends we see in the world is a growth of so-called authentic tourism. Authentic tourism means that travelers want to connect to locals. They want the local experience. They want the cultural experience. So they don't just want to sit in hotels, but they actually want to have these experiences, with entrepreneurs, with farmers. Here, for example, in Rwanda, in the coffee plantations and the tea plantations, and so on. And these opportunities are existing, and you just need to put a tour together, and then you can sell that wherever you're based, in the US, UK, in the Emirates, or wherever you are. You can put a tour together and sell that for let's say you price it at $2,000-3,000 for a person. So if you have a tour together of 10 people, that's 30,000. If you just make half of them 5 people, that's still 15,000. So it's an excellent business opportunity where you can come in at a shoestring budget and still contribute towards Africa's development, and at the same time run a very, very successful venture that has a lot of potential for growth, not just in Rwanda, but across the region and across the continent. So again, I believe it's an amazing business model, and more of us in the diaspora should really take this up. It's a perfect business model for us because we connect basically Africa with the Western markets where the tourists would come from. And so once more, doing business in Africa doesn't necessarily mean that you need to manufacture and relocate and all that. It depends on the business model you choose. That is so important for us to realize. And truly, I believe becoming successful in the tour and travel industry in Africa is very, very exciting. Not only do you get to travel across the continent, have amazing experiences, but you allow others to get to know Africa from your point of view, and you contribute towards the development and of the continent. And that's the power combination I always talk about. Now, maybe very, very briefly, and I know this video is a little bit longer than I intended to, but very, very briefly, just on Rwanda. Rwanda actually is also establishing itself or positioning itself as a major convention and conference hub. This is very interesting. You really need to listen here. It's a small country, but they've been doing incredibly well in this regard. Now listen to this. Rwanda officially, following South Africa, had the largest number of conference participants. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but these were the numbers that were given to us by the Rwandan Development Board. So Rwanda followed South Africa with the largest numbers of conference participants. We have here the new convention center, and I have to say, Rwanda is doing an incredible job in this regard, because when you arrive at the airport, you know what you will quickly see? You will quickly see the name of the conference that is happening that week. And all delegates, conference delegates, are being personally welcomed and accompanied by people that are servicing, that have been put in place to help assisting them to find their way to their hotels and to the conference itself. It's an amazing service. To be very honest, I have never seen anything like it anywhere in the world. I don't know if it exists, but this is the kind of service you receive when you visit a conference here. And you can really tell that Rwanda is doing a lot to position itself as the convention and conference hub here in Africa. And that again means that there's not only a lot of opportunity for tours and travel, but there's also a lot of opportunity for just met one of our, look, we're already bumping into colleagues. I actually just met one of the business people we met a few days ago here. So he was just waving. So can you see I'm already local here? So so Rwanda is positioning itself as a conference and convention hub in Africa, and that also means that they will require special services in this regard. In terms of tour, travel, accommodation, property management, food services, where you cater to their needs, but also in agribusiness, where you, grow certain things like, strawberries, mushrooms, certain flowers, or certain, well, we are talking about food, so it's not flowers in this context, but meat production even, certain meat production, especially pork, is in high demand because it's simply not being produced by a lot of people. So when you find these niches, you can also become an agribusiness venture that produces special produce, food stuff that is needed by these conferences and convention center. And this is the niche you can build for yourself in so many ways. So again, once more,